Why is transitions needed in the Midlands?
Yeah, I think transitions is needed in all over the country. Any city of any significant size will have part of its population that will be homeless, and some cities don't do anything about it. Some provide minimal shelter, and others, like Columbia, provide transitions, which gives a path forward for folks and helps provide solutions to homelessness.
How long has transitions been here?
8 years.
About how many clients do you think you've helped in that time?
Well, it holds 260 and it's full most of the time, but there have been thousands that have come through transitions since it opened.
Do you know the number that have actually transitioned back into not being homeless?
It's a very impressive number that have transitioned to permanent housing, and it's over 2,000, over 2,300, close to 2,400 folks to date that have successfully transitioned to permanent housing.
What changes have you seen in downtown homeless populations since transitions has opened?
Prior to transitions, the homeless were very visible in downtown Columbia, very aggressive panhandling. Transitions helps provide a safe place to go and helps provide services that can help them get out of homelessness if they choose to do so. And since Transitions is open, there's been a great deal of development in downtown Columbia, new residents, new businesses, and I believe strongly there's a correlation there.
Do you think that Transitions has helped the stigma of homelessness be or change in the Columbia area? Do you think it's helped some of that?
Well, certainly having over 2,000 folks that have successfully transitioned from homelessness to permanent housing, and they can tell their story, and many do, it certainly helps with the perception of the homeless in Columbia. There's so many folks that are basically one paycheck away from being homeless, and there are a lot of people that can relate to that.
Why do you think Transitions is so important to the Columbia community?
I think Transitions is very important to Columbia, being the capital city of South Carolina. You know, cities can choose to do different things with their homeless population. They're going to have homeless, and they can ignore it, they can provide minimal shelter, or they can provide an organization like Transitions that provides services that help folks go from homelessness to being self-sufficient and in permanent housing.
Helping people when they need it most, and what I loved about Transitions, which really is what drew me in, we aren't just feeding for a meal, we aren't just solving for a day, we're helping people break a pattern and move out of homelessness into permanent housing. And that tangible mission of changing someone's trajectory, I mean, it's really powerful. And I think that's what makes us unique. We're not a shelter. We're not just trying to solve for the day. We're trying to teach them life skills, coaching skills, job skills, help them get a job, employ them at times with the things that are going on at Transitions. And so for me, it's about permanent change, not just temporary change and temporary relief. So I can really, own that and feel like when I'm investing myself personally, or our company is, or I'm talking to other companies, I mean, that's the motivation. We're changing people's trajectory in this community. The vast majority are like most human beings and like where most Americans are today. One broken situation, a lost paycheck, is the difference between being able to pay your rent, lose your home. So if you are a business and you are a company that truly cares about the well-being of the Midlands community, you have to care about homelessness, because ultimately it's about the fabric of this community. And if we can continue to solve for this, again, not just feed for a day, we have to do those things, but solve the more permanent issue of helping the people that are just that one step away from catastrophe. And as businesses, we are in the position to make the difference. These are people that had children that lose their children because they were one paycheck away from, and the difference of them not being able to care for themselves or their kids. So please give, and not just give, but get involved. And I think that's kind of my key message to businesses is get involved, own homelessness, and help us continue to make a difference of the permanent trajectory of the people in our community. Doing, court settings for the homeless to help them wipe away those things that take away, that's a barrier to entry, that's a barrier to a job. helping them learn interviewing skills, they lose all their confidence. So when you say go get a job, that's pretty easy when you don't have a job, you don't have a job today, you don't have a car, you don't have transportation, you don't have $1 in your pocket to buy lunch. So, like, these are not people that just don't care. They care desperately. And so we're helping them be equipped, and all the people, the thousands that we've now helped and affected, it's just the beginning. And I would say that as a community, the more we come together to permanently change the trajectory, the more it will not just be about, the numbers of homelessness, which they will grow. If we don't continue to do more, they will grow. And then that does have a negative impact on our community, on our public spaces. It has a negative impact on our businesses. So we own it for self-preservation of all those things, but more importantly, we own it because it's our moral obligation to care for those who are less fortunate than we are. And that's how I think about it and why I give to Transitions. That's why I'm a part of it. That's why Colonial Life is a part of it. And I would ask our other, business partners in this community to take it personally and make a difference.
Tell me how you got involved with the jobs program at Transitions.
Through Katrina. Miss Davis? Is that who you're referring to? She's been really, really good in initiating contacts for people. We've done several things with her in regards to the jobs program. We've gone several places, but one of the things that paid off for me was she introduced us to McIntyre, which I had known about, but just by osmosis, if you will. I really didn't know anything specific about them. But she did introduce us to McIntyre. McIntyre came here and conducted several interviews, and I was chosen as one of the candidates for hire. And I was hired. I've been there, I guess, probably a week plus 30 days. And I've been promoted once and offered a created position yesterday, which I will start on Saturday. The immediate plans for the future is to continue to work hard, to continue to grow at the job, because obviously without income, nothing else can happen. But more importantly, just being back at work, being productive. I know that kind of sounds like a cliche, but for me it's really not. Just being productive every day really means a lot. The immediate goal for me is to extricate myself from the wonderful place that Transitions is as quickly, as humanly, or even alienly possible, if that makes any sense at all.